Okay, we continue with our series of videos on symmetries by looking at the exercises in section 7.2. So I'm going to do problems A and C, and just to tell you that I do expect you to write these up in your homework when you hand in your homework, just so I can see that you understand what I did in class. So try to reformat it in a nice way. I'm going to explain verbally and see if you can write it out very systematically and nicely in your homework. All right, so what I want to do is screen capture this. All right, so here I'm just going to copy this part, and we'll go ahead and move this. Whoops, I want to do this. Type, move it over here, and it should move. There we go. All right, now, a little background here, R180, SV, R180, SV, what are these things? Let's go back to the chapter and see what it's talking about. All right, so we're talking about the symmetries of a rectangle. So let's make that clear in my OneNote notebook. These are symmetries of a rectangle. Okay, so R180 is what? R180 is equal to 180-degree rotation. And SV is called a vertical flip. Now, there's some confusion about what's a vertical flip and what's a horizontal flip. I myself don't remember. Let me go back to the page and see what a vertical flip is. All right, SV is the reflection across the vertical axis. So V refers to the axis. Sometimes this is called a horizontal reflection, but just remember that SV means the axis of the flip is vertical. Okay, so 180-degree rotation, you can see what that is. That's just you take the rectangle and you move it around like that. Vertical flip would be you have the rectangle here, here's your axis, and you flip across the axis like that. All right, so how is this going to work? Let's just see what R180 does to the rectangle. If I have my original rectangle, ABCD, and then I apply R180 to it. So again, you can make a model or whatever you want to do. R180 means that this is going to go around like that. The A is going to go over to C, and the B is going to go to where D is, and then the C is going to go where A is, and then the last one is B. Okay, so I want to write this in ordered pair notation. So R180, A is going to map to something, B is going to map to something, C is going to map to something, and D is going to map to something. All right, now what does A map to? A maps to the position of C, right? Where C was, that's where A is now. Okay, A maps to the position of C. Then where does B map to? B maps to the position of, whoops, what did I do here? Certainly I flipped some things around here. This shouldn't be a D, that should be a B. So let's go back and fix that. That's certainly not a rotation. That's something impossible. All right, if I rotate B around, B is going to go to the position where D was. So B is here, D is here. Okay, so B goes to the position of D, C goes to the position of A, and D goes to the position of B. Okay, so that's my function R180. Now let's do SV. No, I didn't want to do SV, but I think I'm going to have to do SV because I can't do it otherwise. I'm going to have to do B, so let you figure this out yourself also. That SV, you can draw the picture yourself, but SV is going to be equal to, well, let's see, A goes to the position of B, I think. And then, let's see, B is going to go to the position of A, and then I'm going to have C goes to the position of D, and then D goes to the position of C. All right, now I want to do the composition of these two. I want to find R80 composed SV. R80 composed SV. All right, now be careful here. R80 composed SV means I do SV first and then R180. It's like putting on your shoes and socks and then taking off again. If I take f of g of x, the g is evaluated first and then the f. All right, so let me just make that clear. R180 composed SV means the SV is evaluated first. Okay. All right. So now I know that if I start with A, then SV is going to take that to B. Okay. So A goes to the position of B. All right. But now where does B go? A is now in the position of B, and I know that whatever's in the position of B is going to go to the position of D. So this is going to go to D according to R180. Okay. So I can figure them all out this way. That's where A goes. What does B do? B goes where? Well, B, under SV, B goes to the position of A, under SV. Then A, under R80, is going to go to, R180 goes to C. Okay. What about C? C, under SV, goes to position of D. D goes to where? D goes to B. Okay, so this is going to be R180. And then here I have D under SV goes to C, and then C under R80 or 180 goes to where? Goes to A. All right. So what I've started out with is I have A, B, C, D. Then if I think about the total composition of R180 composed with SV, what this is telling me is that A goes to the position of D, so that means my A is down here. B goes to the position of C, so my B is down here. C goes to the position of B, which means my C is up here. And D goes to the position of A, which means my D is up here. And you can figure out what this rotation, what this symmetry is. It's certainly a symmetry because the rectangle looks the same. It's in a different position. And you can think about what type of motion takes this rectangle with these labels into these labels. Make yourself a model, something like that, and have fun with it. All right. So that's number 1. Let's look at number 6. So this was number 1, and then let's look at number 6. All right. Where's my mouse? Down here. Go to number 6. Whoops, that's not what I want. I want this. Number 6 is down here. Let's go ahead and find it. And then we'll do snip. All right. And I have to go back to my OneNote. And I think I have to go down, so I will go to a nice place. Let's see if I can go a little more. And then we'll go ahead and do my insert and screen clipping and see if I can do this. I'll take that. Now, where did it go? It went way up here. So we'll see if we can move it down. Catch this. And let's see if I can move it down. At least it's letting me move a little bit. And we'll go down a little more. And let's see if I can insert some space and get it down even more. Come on, come on. Let me go. There we go. Okay, good. And we'll move this down here. So this is 6. Okay. And let's see. And let's look at the ones I want. The ones I was going to do are, my mouse is moving. Ones I was going to do are A. Oh, was I going to? Oh, this is 7-1. I don't want 7-1. I want 7-2. Oh, 7-2 is here. Sorry. 7-2. I was going to do A and B. All right, so let's look at A and B from my original. Okay, here we go. I gave myself a couple of easy ones. Let's take this down and we'll copy this, catch this, move this. Is it letting me do it? We'll get there. Just be patient. There we go. Okay. I'm not sure why the 6 went with that. If I can get rid of that 6, let's see if I can do that. Okay. And move it like that. Okay, so that's good enough. All right, let's go ahead and start drawing. Okay, so this is 6, and I'm going to do A and B. All right, so here we go. Write the symmetries of F and G in tableau form. Now, before we do this, we need to see what are we operating on. We're operating on a geometrical figure, and the answer is going to depend on which geometrical figure we're operating on. So if we go back here, it says, with reference to the hexagon, and I have symmetries F and G. So let me go ahead and draw a hexagon. And let me just remind myself here that this is symmetries of a hexagon. Symmetries of a hexagon. So I'm going to want to write these symmetries F and G in tableau form. So let's start with this one. Rotation by 240, rotation by 120. So let me go ahead and write a hexagon. Hexagon is just a stop sign. I'm going to do a lousy one. There's no sense, it's not in our class, so I'll start with the A here. You notice that we typically start with the A at the rightmost corner here. Now what is rotation by 240? 90 takes A up here, 180 takes A here. 240 is going to take the A over to the E. Okay. Now here we're talking about tableau form. So if you look at the videos, you'll see what a tableau form is. It's kind of like ordered pair form, but you've stacked the pairs vertically. So if I'm going to do part AI, my tableau is going to have A, B, C, D, E, F in the top row. Now, on the bottom row, I want to say what position does A go to, what position does B go to, what position does C go to, D, E, F, etc. Now, as I noticed, if I do 240, 240 is going to take A all the way over to E. And if you think about it, each vertex is going to go to the next vertex successively counterclockwise. So my B is going to go to F, my C is going to go to A, my D is going to go to B, etc. So this is E, F, A, B, C, D. So that's my F. All right, I did that quickly, but you can go back and make yourself a model, as I said. So this is the F. This is rotation by 240 degrees. All right, now let's go ahead and do G. G is rotation by 120 degrees. All right, what's that going to look like? Well, here I've got my stop sign again. A, B, C, D, E, F. Now remember, 90 degrees would take A up vertically. That's not a symmetry because there's no vertex up there. But if I go a little bit beyond to 120 degrees, that's going to take me to the C. So 120 degrees takes the A to the C. All right. So my G, I know that G is going to take A to C. And then the other vertices are just going to follow along afterward. The B goes to the next one over, which is D. The C goes to the next one over, which is E. So notice that you have this cyclic pattern here. Here you start A, B, C, D, E, F. It goes around in a cycle. It's just the cycle has shifted. So C, D, E, F, and then E is going to go to A, and F is going to go to B. So that's my F, and that's my G. All right, now, number 2. Compute F composed G and G composed F. So let me go ahead and insert some space here. All right, so I got some space, and I'm going to... All right, so let's do F composed G. Well, I'm going to do G compose F first. All right, I'm just because I want to do things backwards. So I'm going to do G compose F. That means you do F first, then G. Now the reason I'm doing that is I have F and G set up here just so I can do that very nicely. All right, so if I do F first, and let's make a different color so we see what's going on. So F first, and then G. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. A, B, C, D, E, F. All right, now where does A go to? Well, I'm doing F first and then G. F takes A to E. Now, then where does G take E? G takes E to A. Okay? So here I have A going to A. All right? Let's go ahead and look at B. F takes B to F. And G takes F back to B. Okay? Wow. Okay. Whoops. Not sure what happened there. Let's go back. All right, looks like I'm going to have to make another video because something closed.